Hey, residents of Meepletown, today is Feld time. It's Feld time. We're going to be building bonfires.
You know what I'm doing?
Traveling around islands. We're going to be
building a bonfire with your head. With your head.
With your head.
With your head.
Let's get to the table and check out Bonfire.
Before we get started, Dean, I think we're probably going to get flagged by the YouTubes for singing that beautiful song. That was
I don't
awesome.
think we were that close.
Oh, I think it was perfect. Honestly. I mean,
at least it's at the beginning of the
you
video.
sound just like that woman that sings the song.
Do you know who sings it?
The Cranberries.
Yes,
but I don't remember her name.
I don't either.
All right.
Okay, here's the setup for Bonfire. Hey, John, what's our score, by the way? Our Season 2 score.
Oh, yeah, we got to start off with that. 1-1.
1-1. This is the tiebreaker here.
It's serious right here.
This is for all the marbles.
It's like there's going to be like a million other marbles.
Okay, here is the setup for Bonfire. And like every Feld, you know that you're going to be doing lots of different things and getting lots of different points. John's going to figure out who's first. It's going to be him. You're almost always first in this
I just
game.
set your gnome on his head. That's kind of cool, actually.
It's pretty neat.
A little novice.
All right, so John's going to take the first player marker, which is actually a function in the game later on in the last few rounds.
Neato Frito.
Okay, so on your turn, you're going to be doing one of three different things. Obviously, I'm not going to go over all the actions at the very beginning.
Our resources.
But just to go ahead and tell you, yeah, we each start off with
one of each.
With one of each of the resource and one of the action tiles that matches the tile that we put here. And this was randomly drawn, but if you didn't like that one, you could swap it out for the middle one on your board. But basically, on your turn, what you're going to do is either take one of these tiles and place it out here to gain resources. We'll explain exactly how that works. Or you're going to use an action tile to take actions here. Or you are going to complete one of the tasks to flip it over to make a bonfire once you pick these up. And that's it. The game's going to keep going back and forth until I win the game. John, why don't you go ahead and go first?
Probably. Well, I'm just peeping all this out over here. You know what I mean?
I haven't looked at anything.
I'm just trying to check it out, see what's going on.
Set it up, and we just went for it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at these. What are they called? Altars before they turn into bonfires? I don't know.
Tasks.
That's what they're called. Looking at these tasks, just trying to see what's going on, trying to survey because I'm probably gonna sail my ship.
Coffee is in the shot.
That's right. No, it's okay. No, everyone is good with that. They like it, actually.
Okay.
I'm probably going to sail my ship over here, and because the very first time you do, you get to pick where you want to go. So I'm trying to plan. I'm trying to plan not only where I'm going to go here, but like what path I might take. So, with that being said, I'm gonna.
Oh, this is gonna be a long game.
Whoa, man! There's no doubt about it. That's pretty serious. Because you know what? These cards are pretty nice too. I'm going to talk through some of this. These can build you some engine. These are going to be in-game scoring, but there's some decent cards.
Not in-game scoring. These are going to be.
I'm sorry.
Scored, yeah.
Immediate scored. Yeah. Yes, my bad.
But they are scoring cards, and these are set every game. They don't change and they don't replenish.
Yeah, this one allows you to go one extra space, doesn't it?
This one allows you to have as many on
on the same space as one. Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah. By the way,
there's a bunch of these actually.
There are
really
a ton
cool.
of them, and we've played this game a decent amount of times now, and I still have to refer back to the rule book on those because I think the symbology is fine, but there's just a lot of cards.
Okay.
Same for the tiles.
So I'm going to spend a sail, which normally allows you just to go like one path, but the first time I can go wherever I want, and I'm going to go up here. And then I'm also going to build an altar, which is this little thing. Oh my gosh. Do you care if I just put some over here so that I can...
Sure, just go for it.
Will it look bad on the camera?
No, that's fine.
What do you think, Meepletown? I'm just going to put some over here.
Okay.
So that means that I'm actually going to take this cheapo right here. It's not cheapo, but it is what it is. Oh shoot, I don't have the resources for it. I didn't realize that was that.
If you hand me one of those trays, I'll just put that in there for you. We probably should have done that anyway.
Just done that
and then
make it a little bit easier.
Another one for resources too.
Well, yeah, look how long it's taking for us to start this game. It's ridiculous.
Can I get another tray over there?
I mean, like, I'm already making mistakes. That's the problem.
Oh, we got plenty of time, John.
You're blocking something. You're blocking it over there. You're blocking it. Sorry, you just got to get your strategy going. You know what I mean?
I've already got my strategy.
That's the problem.
You want me to take my turn?
Well, if you already got your turn, then we're going to go pretty quick. How does it feel to you whenever people take forever on their turn? Oops. All right, I'm going to go here.
Do I do that?
All right, I'm going to do the same thing I just did, though, but I'm going to spend... So now in order to get this, I have to spend a ginger, Or root, sorry. I think it looks like a gingy. And then I've got to spend one of these top 2 tiles that I have right here. So I don't have another one, so I have no option but to spend a strawberry. So I go ahead and spend the strawberry. Then I'm going to take this tile. And what this is basically saying is, oh my gosh. This tile is saying that I'm going to place it wherever I want to on this, but if I have a path with a strawberry, then I'm going to be able to flip this over. I'll have 2 points at the end of the game and some other stuff. So I'm actually going to place this all the way up her. How about that?
Okay, all right.
That took forever.
It did take forever. I'm just going to go up here. I'm going to place a bonfire tile. This is the little purple
You love those, man.
action
You
tiles.
love that.
Yeah, get ready for that. I love taking this action. So that means I can move this one spot. Now, if you're the first person to take this action, you can actually put it anywhere that you want. And so I'm going to move it over here.
I forgot that rule. I would have taken that.
And that's right.
I'm serious. I forgot that. That was stupid.
Now, from now on, like the sailing action, if I spend 1, I move it 1 click. If I pay 2, I move it 2 clicks. And if I pay 3, I can go anywhere on here. I think I may have knocked those off. The reason why I did that is because I'm going to take one of these portal tiles, and you have to match up the shape and symbol on there. So it's actually going to go starting this side and going around this way. John mentioned the paths
are going to go the opposite.
That's right. The paths go this way, and the guardians are going to be coming from this way, but the portals are going to be coming from this way. So I'm going to take that one, and then I can choose one of these 2. I get to take 2 out of 3 of these, and with that, I will take the... Where is that? I'll probably put them all over in yours. One of these little shipping action tiles.
And that's it.
And that's it. See, that's how you take a quick turn.
Well, my turn's going to be pretty quick as well.
Got to be prepared.
Because you have to play this right. And my symbol is right there. So I'm going to use this question mark.
Hey, since you used...
To only move it once.
Since you used my boat to ship, does that mean that I get to take that tile?
Get out of here, Dean. So I'm going to do the same thing. And it was perfect timing for him to go here. That allowed me to go ahead and snake this up. I also like how I'm going to get a gold, because that is a wild resource. That's it. I just had to get my game strategy. Okay.
I don't know why I took that one either. It didn't really make sense for me to do that.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Whatever. All right, I will.
Stop whining.
I'm looking out here on the board. I would like to go sailing out here. However, I don't really have any of the tiles that I need. Well, I guess I do. I guess I could do that. So I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to go shipping.
See, the sailing does
I'm going to go sailing.
A second to figure out where you want to go.
No, it doesn't. I got it.
Yes, it does.
I got it figured out. Okay, when I sail here, I want to be able to take one of these tasks. Unfortunately, I don't have the symbol, the action tile that John had to do that. So I'm going to have to spend a wild one to do that.
The red circle.
Yeah, the red circle one allows you to do that. So I'm spending a wild to do that. Now what I have to do is spend a resource. You already mentioned this, John, but a resource that matches one of these and this right here. So I'm going to spend a herb. I guess that's what it is. I'm
going to spend my herb.
Totally making that out. And then I'm going to spend a little lotus flower.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. It's okay to just make things up, though.
It is.
Not the rules. We're not making the rules up. I'm going to take this one because I'm looking down here, and all 3 out of 4 of these have that symbol on there.
Pretty good.
So I'll be able to complete that pretty quickly.
I think we should do a review one time where we just absolutely make up the rules.
Somebody does that.
And don't pretend.
There's a channel for that.
Oh, is there?
Mm-hmm. I've showed you the channel.
I hate them.
Oh my gosh. Wow. It's only one person, and it's pretty funny.
Wow. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spend my other question mark right off the rip so that I can go one more space and go ahead. Because, hey, when it's lined up, when the stars align, you might as well go for it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
Know what I mean? Then I could get, depending on that, or strawberry, which wouldn't be terrible either. It might be pretty good. Depends on which tile I'm going to take here. I'm going to take the strawberry. All right, done.
Okay. I'm going to spend a green action token, which allows me to take one of these paths. I'm looking here, and I've got a blue tile here that I can already complete once I take this.
Looks like basil to me. Basil?
I don't think so. Why would
basil is a wonderful
gnomes
herb.
Need basil?
Why would you not?
Basil.
I don't even understand.
Okay, if ever you have 3...
Oh, that was good for me.
I'm sorry, if ever you have all the same color down here of the crystals, you can reset these as well. So that could very well happen. That is really good for you, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I already had this one, but it was yellow.
Yeah.
And so
Did you mention the task, the complexity of the task? So the blues are the easiest ones to complete. The yellows are the hardest, and then the reds are somewhere in the middle. Pink, red.
The reason I placed this over here and Dean placed his blue here because at the end of the game, if he flips this over and that matches, it's going to be an extra couple bonus points.
That's right.
So that's why whoops, that was up there. I don't know why I knocked that down. Didn't I? Was that? Oh, shoot, Dean. I put this up here, did I not?
I have no idea.
Oh,
we can say that you did.
I don't really want to cheat, but I really think I did that.
Okay.
Because I was... Okay. That's what I did, Meepletown. Because I did. I'm sure, because I knew I was going to place a yellow one that wouldn't match.
Sure you did.
I don't know. I think so. I know I did.
Okay. On my turn, I've got a couple of options here. I'm thinking through this. I know if I use my wild action tile, I could try to grab one of these by paying the resources for it. And there are some decent ones out here. So, okay, I can complete this. And if I do that, then I'm going to take my gnome, and my gnome's going to go out here on the edge of this and take one of those actions. However, if I go ahead and snake this card first, then when I put my gnome out there, I'll actually be able to get a gold every time I do that, which is actually pretty helpful too. So I think as much as I don't really want to spend my wild action tile, I'm going to. I'm going to spend that.
I know. I've already spent both of mine.
Now I will spend a... I would either have to pay this, the fruit, and a brown... I'm using that as a brown action tile. So I'd either have to spend the fruit and another brown action tile, or two of the fruits and a brown action tile. Did I say that right? One and two resources.
There's so many really not good jokes that are going in my brain right now that I don't want to say because it would embarrass myself.
Anyway, one brown tile or wild and two resources, or one resource and two of those brown tiles. So I'm going to spend two resources. Those fruits. Oh, gold is a wild resource in this. You can spend...
I already said that.
Did you do that for the action tiles too?
I didn't tell them about the dose.
Okay, so for resources, gold is wild, or you can spend two of any resource to act as one resource. Same thing goes for the action tiles. You have the actual wild question mark action one, or I can spend two of any to make one. There we go. I'll take that action. I'm done.
Okie dokie. So now we get to see something kind of interesting. I don't have any of these tiles. Now I can only do this action I'm about to do if I only have one tile or less left. I could discard to go down to one or whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick from the top or the bottom of this stack. And we're going to do a little puzzle.
Okay.
I like this part of the game a lot.
A lot.
All right, so I'm going to place this here, and I'm going to get the three that I literally just placed, but also if any are adjacent to the same symbol, I'm going to get that as well. So I'm actually going to get two reds now, two red tiles, action tiles, a guardian, and a bonfire. And that is my turn.
All right.
You have all the guardians.
Okay, I am... Now I can do the same thing John did since I only have one tile. Part of me wants to do that, but another part of me does not. I can flip this bonfire. I can turn this task into a bonfire because I do have this completed, and that would allow me to put this gnome out there, my little novice out there, which also is not a terrible thing to do either. But there's not a lot of those actions that I necessarily want to take right now. Although I will. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to flip this over and make this a bonfire. Again, this is completed because I have one of those path tiles. Now I'm going to take my gnome, and the gnome is going to go on this spot. I can put it on any of these action spots. You can't see what those are probably from the camera.
Do you know what you're
But I can
doing?
only have, that's pretty good. You can only have one color of, one of each color on each spot, on each of these locations. So I can't take this one again in the future unless I use a novice tile to do that. But I like it because I'm going to go over here. This just lets me take a free bonfire action anywhere that I want. And I will take this portal, because I need that one, put it here, and then in a wild action tile. So both of those things are really good. Unfortunately, though, in doing that, I'm going to have two tiles, and so I'm going to have to take an action next time. So that's my turn.
Well, that solves what I was going to do because you set me up again to get another one of these by spending one. So thanks, Dean, I guess.
You're welcome.
And I will get that. It matched up perfectly. And then I'm gonna take a lotus flower, as you would say.
Sorry. Whenever I put my gnome out, I get a gold. Remember, with my what do you call these?
Cards.
What are they called? Who are those people?
Like leaders or?
I gotta look this up. I like.
Oh my
like to know the term. No, those are gnomes. What are our people? Novices. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, novices. I keep calling them. These are gnomes. These are novice gnomes, maybe. I don't know. My gnome lets me get a gold.
You're full of a lot of gnome sense right now.
That's pretty good too, John. All right. I'm gonna spin my guardian tile. That kind of has a dual purpose. If you're on an island with a guardian, you can take one of those, or you can move your guardians up the path for however many tiles that you take. I spent one. I'm going to move this one up, and now that's going to give me a gold for being there. There we go. I'm done.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can I ask you what this means? I'm trying to remember what that one was. I haven't had that one since the first game.
We talked about that one like 3 times in a row.
It was the first game we played.
Game. No, it was our last game. I forgot what it was.
Well, I've played with other people since then.
It is.
I don't mean to cheat on you, but
which color is that?
Yeah, red, pink.
Fulfill the condition of one common task.
One of those. Yeah, that's right. Duh. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over.
The symbology I think is good. It's just
yeah.
We have a lot going on.
I do have a strawberry, so I'm going to flip it over, which will be worth 2 points as Dean did. I'm going to take this gnome over her, and see what I've got.
Oh, gnome, you didn't.
Oh, snap. So what's interesting is that I've got 2 of these altars here, and they don't do me any good if I can't sail. So I'm going to go ahead and take... There's other things that I kind of want to do. This spot, which means that I can actually move my boat now to any place on the map. That way I can go ahead and grab this. So, but honestly, the challenge is I don't really have a good engine towards something right now. I'm close on one thing. If I could just, yeah, let's do that. No, but then I don't have that. Ugh. I'm close on this one, but I don't want to, see, I kind of want to get a red or a yellow task so that I can go ahead and start, this is taking forever when I do this, isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, should I just do that? But then it'll be blue again. I don't want a blue one, Dean. This is ridiculous. I hate the way these are laid out this time. It does feel kind of...
Yeah, it's set up. These are all random. There's actually a lot of these task tiles in the box.
What's so... I mean, I'm just going to talk through it. What's so difficult is that when I get my ship somewhere, that's where it's at for a while. Yeah. So, like, this move to me is really important because... if I go over here, then if there's some over that I want over here, it's going to take me several moves sometimes to get back, maybe like back up here or whatever. So, that's an interesting, call and decisions. And Dean keeps beating me in every game that I play against him.
What's going on?
And so I'm getting sick of it. I'm getting angry about it. I'm going to move over here.
Oh my goodness.
How about that? I'm about to get, and I'm going to spin. Oh wait, that's a blue one. I don't want that one.
Want to go take a nap?
No, all right, that's fine. I'm just going to take this one. I'm just going to say forget it at this point. I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to... Oh, let's see what this is. No! Oh, I can spin this. 2 gingers, the only one I didn't have. That's why I said I assumed that I would not flip over.
How do you know that's a ginger root?
It's a root. What? It looks like a ginger.
It's got a little smiley face on it.
No, that's not the one.
It's my favorite component. Your favorite component of the game. The root with a little smiley face on it. None of the other ones have smiley faces.
That took forever, dude.
Oh my goodness. Oh, trust me, I know.
Oh my gosh.
All right, now I can take one of these tiles, and now that I only have one action tile, to be able to put it out here and take some new ones. But I got to be honest, I really like this being right here because if it gets moved again, then I'll have to wait. I love the bonfire tile, so I get to take one of those.
You do.
And then I'll get to take this portal because I need this one to go right in here.
Man.
I got 3. How many you got? Oh, you got 3. My goodness.
3 what?
You never did get that many that fast. Your portals?
Yeah. Well, you've been setting me up. What really stinks, and what I love about this game is the way the actions work. I'm just going to be real. And so right now I'm in this situation where I don't really want to do either one of these things. I can't do this because I don't have, and if I wanted to pick up this tile, I'd have to have 2 of these.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you know.
And the reason why he has to have 2 is because, flip that bad dude.
Oh, my bad.
Because if you take one a task on an island, leaving your offering, then if you want to do another one on the island with your offering, you have to spend an additional one.
So I'm just going to spend a Guardian, which lets me move my Guardians, plural if I had, but only have one forward, one space, and then I'm going to take what I land on. So there we go. I started. You want to do one more turn and then do art and components and tell me what we think about it?
Yeah, let's do that. I'll do... let's see, which action am I going to take? I need to get more tiles. I can't take the bonfire one, but that's not going to benefit me that much. So I'm going to take this one. None of mine match except one symbol on there. This was a poor way to start this off, I think. And so I'm going to put this right here. Probably not a great way to put that. That's going to give me 2 of the green tiles.
That's the challenge.
It's going to be 1 red and a blue sailing one. So I've got a little more options. I covered up a gold on here, so when I do that, I'm going to take a gold token. All right, I think I am, I'm good.
So you can talk about art and components?
Yeah, let's talk about the art and components. I have some good and bads with the
bads, plural.
With the art and components.
Why didn't you say goods and bads? Why did you say good and bads? So you have one good thing about it and a bunch of bad things.
Mm-hmm. No, I have to because I'm locked into that. Bad. Let me start with the bad. I don't know if this is a my copy thing or if this is across the board. When I got the game, I opened it up.
Probably across the board.
Potentially. But goodness.
Uh-oh, someone's calling me.
Oh, it's you.
Here, turn it off.
All right. Okay. Oh, goodness. I'm distracted now. Okay. When I opened up my copy, I punched it out. And when I did that, and I know if you've punched a lot of games, you've seen this happen before. I don't think you can really see it on here. But there's a lot of this like frayed paper on there. And
I punch a lot of games.
I gotcha. I see what you did. I don't think you had to explain that one. Frayed paper. Punching this game was a bear. I'll go ahead and say that. When I first started doing it, some of these pieces got ripped. The backs of one of these tiles is now
totally jacked up.
Yeah, it's totally jacked up. Now you can just color it black, but I don't. It's for me. It is what it is. I can color that black and be just as totally fine. I'll never think about it again.
It's frustrating though.
But yeah, it is frustrating. The biggest frustration though is I do have one of these that the back on it is just like torn off of it. Yeah, it's trash. But here's what happened. I started punching it. I had to go leave and go do something else because there's a lot of punching for this game. I came back and when I started repunching it, it didn't do that anymore. So I'm wondering if maybe I just had to let my game sit and let it acclimate to the moisture. I have no idea. So it could very well be that, and it might not be anyone else.
That's a good point.
But it was my issue, and I want to make everyone aware of it because you've punched games like that before, and it's frustrating.
Super
really
frustrating.
So it's a negative.
Yeah, I totally get that. Would have been really frustrating. So positives for me, I like the Guardian tiles. I like the novices, the little gnomes. I think those are really cool. Nice touch. They're not just meeples, right?
Yeah.
These resources are nice, big and chunky.
Baby Yoda. It's got a little baby
nice.
Yoda.
Baby Yoda. These are nice, chunky resources. I like the art in the game. I particularly like. I'm not like blown away by it, but I particularly like the gnomes.
Yes.
I think they're really
They're pretty cool looking.
The rest of it's fine. But the gnomes are really cool. And the box, this absolutely does nothing for me, just to be real.
I think it's well done.
I think it's mediocre. I like that little gnome, like sticking its head out, like those little ones. But like this little, what does this have to do? I mean, I'm sure there's a reason why this is so prevalent.
The Guardians. It's a Guardian.
Oh, it's a Guardian. Okay.
And they're on all the tiles. So it's super prevalent in the game. Like, almost every card has it's all over the place.
It's stupid and I hate it. It's okay. I don't hate it. It doesn't do when I say it doesn't do anything for me, it doesn't get me jacked up. I'm like, whoa, what a cool box. I'm like, meh.
Yeah. I like all the components. I like the custom everything on there. The bonfire is kind of interesting because it doesn't need to be up like a 3D piece. And in fact, it could be confusing. Like you might not know exactly where it's pointing. It could be, I guess. Not a complaint. I'm just saying it could be. It didn't need it, but it was a nice little touch. I like it.
Yep.
Gameplay.
All right. So is the game good? We like the art and components. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some good, some bad.
I already did the transition. We can just move into
I didn't think it was good enough.
On to the gameplay.
Okay. Did I have high expectations for this game, Dean?
You did.
Decently. I mean, number one, every time I wouldn't say every time Stefan Feld comes out with a game I'm excited. I wasn't excited about Castles of Tuscany. But this one I was excited about, mostly because I just heard a lot of really good feedback right off the bat. A lot of people really liking this game. I'm a huge Stefan Feld fan, but he does have games for me that kind of miss. Like they're just eh. But then he has some games for me, a lot of games actually, that are... This game is a...
What does that mean?
I'm just going right off the bat to say this is
You give it a sound effect.
A nice game. This is quite a nice game. Here's some things I like about it.
Okay.
Wow. First of all, there's a lot of directions that you can take off the bat. Like, you notice that in our gameplay. Like, I was having to crunch numbers. It's like a giant math problem sometimes with his games, you know? And, like, I'm trying to think through the paths that I'm going to go on. But I like that in the game because it makes it feel so fresh every time. There are so many of these task tiles. There's a ton. Where are they at, Bean? Are they in the box in the corner?
Yeah,
there's a ton of them.
Yeah.
This is what, maybe a quarter of them or something like that. And so, like, there's the game...
Probably a little more than that. It's probably like a third of it.
A third of it?
Yeah,
Still.
That is a lot, yeah.
But the way they come out, not only how many there are, but the way they come out, you really have to think through your strategy every time you play this game. And I like
Almost
that.
exactly right. There's 66 of those
66
in
is
there,
about right.
And we got, I think, 20. I think there's 10 islands.
Okay.
If I remember right.
So that's really fun. And then on top of that, my favorite part of the game is the actions, the way the actions work in this game. The way that you have this little puzzle to, like, figure out, but then also the way that, you know, you can't do that puzzle unless you have only one of these tiles left, which leads to some really interesting decisions. And then other thing with the puzzle that's interesting is sometimes you want to place tiles to get more actions, but yet you really need to do a bonfire action. So you might take something that's less optimal just because you want to go ahead and do this action. And honestly, that's better. Like, I think sometimes early when I started playing this game, I was like, let's get as many actions as possible. But it wasn't playing optimally because it might have been better just to place a tile and get to do the thing I really needed to do at that given point in time. But that pool back and forth is really interesting.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that I don't know if we mentioned this, by the way. You have to pull these. Top
or bottom. I said that.
Okay. What are they called again?
Something. So they give you 3 points at the end of the game if you have one.
That's right. Everything that John just said. You know, I like games where I don't have to be laser focused on something typically. Some games I'm okay being more focused.
Yeah.
But I tend to like having a lot of different options and everything's viable and I don't have to focus just on one thing. And now in this one, I like to focus on the bonfire partly, not fully.
You do like that bonfire.
I like the bonfire because it's a great way to get those tiles and resources, and then also, getting these portals are really helpful. But you'll see later, I'll start sailing around here a lot more and taking a lot of these task tiles because you have to get those.
Yeah.
I like how this is one of my favorite things when you can line everything up. So at the end of the game, you get points for this for your completed bonfires. Yeah. You get points for the portals. And then you get points for the crystal path matching up with that bonfire and getting a guardian in that spot.
Yeah.
And you can line all of that up at the end of the game. It just feels really, really good.
I'm sorry, it does, and I'm half listening to Dean, and I'm half trying to figure out where I'm gonna because
that's probably good because you're taking a long time.
No, it's good. This part of it, you pointed at that again and going top to bottom, and I'm trying to think through. Okay, if I take this, then I can take that, then I can take that, and you got my mind running, and I love that about the game. Your mind's just. It's not overwhelming.
No, I don't think it is either.
But I will say, I think it's more towards his heavier side of games. I'm not saying it's super heavy or anything.
For me, not without looking at the weight on BGG, I've told John, I think this is probably comparable to Aquasphere as far as complexity.
I think it was weighted at right now 3.59 or something.
Yeah.
So
this might be. I think it's slightly heavier, less heavy than Aquasphere is. I think Aquasphere has more going on. This one, once you play through a round, or probably several rounds, because you want to take all the different actions, everything's clear, and the board is really helpful, right? The rulebook is great, by the way. The rulebook is super, it's not really long, but it's everything you need is in there. But once you've played a game, looking at this, other than referring back to these tiles, this is really clear to know exactly what you need to do. So anyway,
really good.
Go ahead on your final.
Yeah, so for my final thoughts, I already mentioned, I just want to say again for those who skip forward, the action selection in this game is brilliant. The way you're placing these tiles, the puzzle you have, the way that you're getting these and using those, absolutely brilliant. Also, I love how you can trade 2 for 1. action. So if you don't get exactly what you want, you could trade 2 of these and get whatever action you want, or the same thing over here. I really like that about it. I didn't mention that I love these the gnomes. What do we call them? Gnomes.
Gnomes.
Yeah, I love them because
Gnomes,
I got to get some more of these because you got to build an engine. You got an engine going over here. But I also really like in this game how the timing aspect really matters. Like, when do I do the bonfire and make that? But then on top of it, it's like a game that's not mean, but I think it has decent player interaction because of stuff like this. Because these are so important for you to get those, and when you have other players vying for those, these are really important when you have other players vying for these. Also, this is it for this immediate scoring. So you have a lot of things that you want to jump to before the other players, or get one of these tasks so that you get a gnome action and get to put your gnome out there. So like, it's not like a mean game, but like do you think there's a decent amount of player interaction because you're like,
sure, yeah.
Like there's so many things you're like, this really messes up if Dean takes something and I wanted this spot. So you're like, what do I want to do? And you constantly have those just brilliant pools of, I want to do this, but I want to do that. Oh, but if Dean does that, then it messes up what I'm going to do here. And super fun. Yeah. This game is one of my favorite games of the year.
Wow. Okay.
9 out of 10. I'm doing it. I told him I was around an 8.5 to a 9. 9 out of 10. This is way up there. This would be I think a top 5 Feld game. Yes.
Top 5 for sure it would be.
For sure it would be. Yeah. This would be it for sure. I just want to pause. A top 5 Feld for me. This is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, my favorite thing, I've already mentioned this, is when everything lines up perfectly. It just feels very satisfying. But
it is.
You mentioned the player interaction, and there is player interaction, but it's not so cutthroat, because like in a 2-player game, you got 20 tiles out there.
You can change your direction.
And at most you're going to get 7? At most you're going to get 7 of those. So 14 of these will be gone at the most. But then you have another one that goes out there for a 3- and 4-player game, and so there's a lot of options to be able to get things without feeling like if John takes a tile that I want, okay, that's not the end of the world. But it's not the end of the world. Like, there's lots of other things that I can do.
But I like how I feel like it's like almost perfect, because I don't like games where it doesn't matter. Oh, there's a million of them, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
But I also don't like it where it just totally hoses you. So I think it's got a really good balance of, man, I really wanted that, but okay, I can do something else.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, all that to say, I love this game as well. This is a one of the higher ends of the Felds for me as well. I'm going to give this one slightly less. I'm going to have 8.5 on this one.
Does that mean that you bought this game but I get it because I gave it a 100?
No, that's not how that works. I give this a 10. No, I'm going to give this one an 8.5, which is a really high score. I really, really like this one. But when I compare it to kind of some other 9 games, I guess.
Not quite there.
Yeah, not quite at that level. However, looking back at kind of some of my Felds, Forum Turjanum, if I remember right, was an 8.5. This is a higher 8.5 for me than Forum Turjanum. Yeah, I like this better than Forum Turjanum, which is a game that I like
a lot,
quite a bit.
Yeah.
But this is, I think, probably a top 5 Feld for me as well. Definitely.
Yeah, so it's really good.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. Yeah, so that's a 9 from John, an 8.5 from me, which means that this gets a Meepletown
Seal of Approval.
It's actually a Meepletown Royal Seal is what we call it.
Meepletown Royal Seal. That's
one awesome. That we love quite a bit. That's a really, really high price.
We haven't given a ton of these out this year.
Yeah, no.
Maybe 4 or 5 or something like that.
Maybe.
So we really like this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell people how they can get in touch with us.
If you're enjoying our channel, we would love for you to subscribe to it. Click on that bell for notifications for when we come up with new videos. MeepletownGames.com. Get you in touch with all of our stuff at Meepletown Games on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and our Board Game Geek Guild 3407.
Thanks for coming down to Meepletown.
Thanks for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at Meepletown Games, and connect with us on the Meepletown Guild, Guild number 3407, at BoardGameGeek.com, and also subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. And until next time, thanks for coming down to Meepletown.